It's another math day here with teacher Jenny. Join me for another topic. And this time we're going to talk about how to write standard equation with given directrix, a point of the parabola, and a principal axis. So let's start off with number one. So again, we're going to find the opening here or identify the opening. And then, of course, we need to identify the vertex. But since the vertex is already given, then be it. And then we have our A and a 4A. So for the opening here, we knew that the given principal axis is horizontal axis. So if that's a horizontal axis, that would simply mean that the opening there could be either left or right. With a vertex at 0, 0, so this is where the vertex is. If that will be horizontal axis as a principal axis, that means to say that our parabola will be identical on this respective principal axis. So which means to say that our parabola could be either going to the left or opening to the left or opening to the right. Now, to know if that's to the left or right, all we have to do is to plot our other point, which is a negative 4, 3. So negative 4, 3, this is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Negative 4 on x is here, and 1, 2, 3 on y is here. So negative 4, 3, that's your point on the parabola. So since if you are to look at that, that's located on the left side of the vertex, which means that once you draw the parabola will pass through that particular point. And of course, if we draw another part here of the parabola, which is very identical to the other one, so our opening of the parabola is to the left. After identifying the opening of the parabola, we cannot find our A nor 4A there. But one thing is for sure, we are given with a vertex at 0, 0 with our H and K as 0. So from there, we can start by writing off the format of our standard equation, which is to the left. So we start with a y minus k squared equal to the left, that means a negative 4a times x minus h. And replacing our k and h here, so we have y minus k is 0 squared equal to negative 4a. X minus our h there is a 0. Simplifying that one, we have y squared equal to negative 4a times an x. But we don't have 4a here, but we can get or identify the 4a by making use of our point on the parabola, which is this. This will serve as our x and our y. And replace that one to our equation. Our y is 3, so squaring that one, that will be equal to negative 4a times our x, which is a negative 4. So from there, we can just simply have it like this. 3 squared is 9 equal to negative times negative, that's a positive. We have 4a times 4. Notice that I did not multiply 4 and 4. The reason here is we wanted to look for 4a. So I think it might be better if I just simply divide a 4 here, which is not the one that we're needing. And then cancel that one out. So we are left with 4a here as equal to 9 over 4. So since we have 4 as 9 over 4, we have to go back to our standard equation we made from a while ago. We have y squared equal to negative The 4a there, instead of 4a, we'll be replacing that one with 9 over 4 and then an x. And let me just write the negative sign in between or in line with the fraction bar in there. So we have our standard equation now. We have y squared equal to negative 9/4 x. Okay, we're now on number 2 with a vertex 4, -2, and a parabola passes through 9, -7 with the horizontal axis. So horizontal axis, which means that our opening could either be to the left or right. So let's now plot that one. We have 4, -2 as our vertex. That will be where our x equal to 4 is, and -2 on y is here. Getting the intersection of those two values, we've got this as our vertex. And then horizontal axis, we draw that one. This is our horizontal axis. Oopsie. It should be passing through where the vertex is. Okay, there you go. That's our horizontal axis. And then we are to plot the other point, which is 9, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is now our 9. And then our -7. We've got -4, -6. So -7 is here. Getting the intersection of that one again. We have our 9, -7, so that is somewhere here. Now, looking at that, if our parabola passes through that particular point, starting from the vertex, moving to that particular point, we will be seeing the look of our parabola, which is going to be opening to the right. So we have now the opening of the parabola, which is to the right. And then we already have the vertex, which is 4, -2. We cannot find the a, but we can surely find our 4a by writing our standard equation based on the opening to the right, which will be y minus k squared, equal to the right, which means it's a positive 4a times x minus h. Plugging in the information, we have h as your 4k with -2. Y minus our k is -2, so which makes this one a +2 squared equal to 4a is unknown times x minus our h is 4. Then we go back to the point. We replace our x with 9, our y with -7. Y here will be replaced with -7 plus 2 squared equal to 4a times x will be replaced with a 9 minus 4. And then simplifying, we have -7 plus 2 is -5 squared equal to 4a times 9 minus 4 is 5. We're dividing this by 5, and so with that one, to get our 4a. So -5 squared, that's 25 over 5. That will be 4a. Our 4a now is 25 over 5, which is equal to a5. So from there, from where we have our standard equation from a while ago, we have y plus 2 squared equal to our 4a. Will replace that one with the value we got, which is 5 times x minus 4. And that becomes our standard equation of the parabola. We're on number 3 with a vertex at 0, 2, and a parabola passes through -1, 3 with a vertical axis. So vertical axis, we're expecting that our opening there could be either up or down. So let's now plot 0, 2. We're going to locate that point on the y-axis. This is where our vertex is. And then, of course, since our principal axis is vertical axis, so that's really identical to the y-axis. And then we know for a fact that that should be opening upward or downward. So let's try to plot the point that the parabola passes through, which is with -1 on x and a 3 on y. So this is where your point, which is on the parabola. And then once you are going to draw a parabola which connects or which passes through that particular point, this is going to be the look of it. So it's going to be opening upward. And then we have the vertex as 0, 2, where our h is 0, our k is 2. Writing now our standard equation based on the upward direction, we have x minus h squared equal to, upward it's a positive for a, y minus k. Replacing our h and k, x minus our h is 0 squared equal to 4a times y minus our k there is 2. Simplifying this, we have that as x squared equal to 4a times y minus 2. And then going back to the point, this is our x, this is our y. Replacing x with negative 1, squaring that 1 equal to 4a times y is 3 minus 2. Simplifying 3 minus 2, that will give up a 1. Negative 1 squared is a 1 equal to 4a times 1. 4a times 1 is still a 4a, so our 4a there is 1. And then going over to the standard equation and replacing our 4a, x squared is equal to 4a is 1 times y minus 2. Instead of writing 1 there, simplifying that 1, that means to say we cannot see the 1 beside y minus 2. And final answer is x squared equal to y minus 2. Number 4 is with a vertex negative 4, 1 and a parabola passes through 0, 3 with a vertical axis. So plotting that one, we have negative 4, that will be somewhere here. And then 1 and y is here. So our point is this one. And then this is our vertex. So the point that the parabola passes through is at 0, 3. That will be somewhere here. And then our axis is vertical. So we have to draw that one passing through the vertex. And if you are to connect the vertex with a point there as the parabola passes through that point, that will be somewhere like that. We have now the clear picture that the parabola there is opening upward. And the vertex, we have that one is negative 4, 1, where h is negative 4 while k is positive 1. Writing the standard equation with the upward as the opening, we can have x minus h squared equal to upward, that's positive, 4a times y minus k. Replacing our h and k, we have x minus. Our h is negative 4, so this would be plus 4 squared equal to 4a times y minus k, which is 1. And then from there, we are going to replace the x and the y with the values on the coordinate of the point that the parabola passes through. Our x will be replaced with a 0, and then we have plus 4 squared equal to 4a times y will be replaced with a 3 minus 1. Simplifying, this is 4 squared equal to 4a times 2. 4 squared is 16 equal to 4a times 2. Again, I'm not multiplying that 1 because I wish to cancel the 2 so I can look for my 4a. Canceling 2 here, we have 16 divided by 2, that's 8, equal to a 4a. So we have 4a now, which is an 8. And then going over to the standard equation, we are now replacing our 4a. So x plus 4 squared equal to 4a. We'll be writing that one with 8 times y minus 1. We have number 5 at with a vertex at 2, negative 5, and a parabola that passes through negative 7, 1 with the horizontal axis. So we have now the idea that the opening could be either left or right. So let's now plot our vertex. The vertex is at 2 uh, for x and then negative 5 on y. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. So this is where our vertex is. And the parabola passes through negative 7, 1. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7 on x. And then 1 on y. So this is where the point is on the parabola. And drawing our horizontal axis that passes through the vertex. So we knew now that that should be opening to the left. Your parabola is opening to the left. And then the vertex, we have that as 2, negative 5, wherein h is 2, k is negative 5. So we are now left with getting our 4a. So writing off the standard equation, opening is to the left, so we start off with y minus k squared equal to left, that's moving towards a negative number, so that's a negative 4a times x minus h. And then replace h and k. Y minus, our k there is negative 5, so this would lead to a plus 5 squared equal to negative 4a times x minus our h. We have that as 2. And then replacing x and y. Our y there is 1 plus 5 and squaring that 1 equal to negative 4a times, replace x with negative 7 minus 2. Then simplifying, this is now 6 squared equal to negative 4, negative 7 minus 2, that's negative 9. 6 squared is 36. Then we multiply the negative, that will lead to a positive. So we have 4. By the way, I forgot the a. We have 4a and times 9. So I'm not going to multiply 9 because I'll be dividing that 1 so that I can get my 4a. So 4a there is 36 divided by 9, which is a 4. So from here, we are now writing our standard equation. We have y plus 5 squared equal to negative, and then 4a is 4 times x minus 2. That is now your standard equation of the parabola. So that is how you write your standard equation of the parabola. Again, this is your teacher Jenny saying practice and practice and practice, and that will make you perfect somehow.